Okay, so here's the rest of the 30 scratch challenge. Previous video kind of gave you the basic description, and now I'll try and solve the rest of this 30 scratch challenge. Just a reminder, you can use a random number generator to generate four numbers, typically using the values 1 through 9. You could also ask students, what's your favorite number between 1 and 9? If they choose, 1, 2, 3, and 4, that might be tough. But yeah, if you get a good spread of numbers, typically you can solve these in about 90% of the time. So I'm going to just kind of go through some of these solutions. I know that 8 add 5 is 13. This is the first time that I've solved this one. So we'll try and see if it will solve it. Another strategy you can give your students is like 5 multiplied by something is 15. Well, you know that something is 3. Is there a way to make 3 with the numbers 2, 4, and 8? 2, 4, and 8. I thought I saw it, but maybe I don't. So we'll go back from there. It's kind of how my brain works on these. So let's get some of the easier ones out of the way. 8 subtract 5 is 3. Let's use some division here. 8 divided by 2 is 4. One of the best things about this is there's a few ways to solve these, right, for each of these. To get the number 5, we can't just use 5. We cannot just use 5, but we could do something like this. 5 times 1 is 5, 5 multiplied. So if then I go 2 multiplied by 4 is 8, divided by 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. So we would end up with 5 times 1, which is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 add 2 is 7. We got to make the number 9. The number 9 is just 4 add 5. 4 add 5. The number 14. So 14 is 7 times 2. So if I went 2 multiplied by, well, I can go 8. Subtract 5 is 3. Plus 4 is 7. So there's a way to make 7. So 2 times 7 is 14. Come back to that 15 later. 17, 9 plus 8. So if I just do 4 plus 5, that's 9, plus 8 is 17. What else do we got here? 18. So we'll get to 20. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 multiplied by 5 is 20. And then subtract 2 gets me to 18. 21 is usually a pretty tricky one. 7 times 3 gets you to 21. Let's use 20 as our base and get some around that. So 4 times 5 is 20, and then add 2. 4 times 5 is 20, and then add 8. 4 times 5 is 20, and then add 8. Oh, 16 plus 5 is 21, so 8 times 2 is 16. And then add 5 to that. It's 21. 23 can be tough. 24, so let's go 4 times 5 is 20. And then we're going to add, we're going to need brackets here, 8 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 20 plus 4 is 24. 25 is usually pretty tricky as well. Trying to think of a way to get there. If it doesn't pop into my head, I'll usually just try and skip it. So 30, I can go 8 multiplied by 4 is 32. And then subtract 2 gives me 30. 32 minus 5 I like that one. That's 27. So 8 multiplied by 4 is 32. Subtract 5 is 27. 26. So here's a pretty good strategy. If you have a number like 26, look and see how you got a number that like a factor of 26, like 13. So for 26, you know it's 13 times 2. We used 13. We got 13 by going 8 plus 5. I'll put that in brackets because I'm going to take that 13 and then times that by 2. I have a times 2, so it gives me 26. Doesn't work for 23 or 29. So those are prime numbers. Just erase this 13 times 2 so it doesn't confuse anybody on the side there. Okay, we're 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers away. 15, we've got to be able to get 15. Yeah, so I'm going to have to write small for this, but if I go 2 times 8, 2 times 8 is 16. 16 take away 5 is 11, and then add the 4 to it to get to 15. 23, 25, and 29. 23, 25, and 29. Okay, so for 29, I can go 8 multiplied by 4 is 32. Subtract 5 is 27, and then add 2. And I'm going to use that kind of as a base again. So starting with what I put for 27 to get down to 25, right? So 8 times 4 is 32. Subtract 5 is 27. Subtract 2 more gets me down to 25. And I just got the pesky number 23. So 23. Beauty of it is in a classroom is you'll have, 25 or 30 kids working on this. It's usually a great little challenge for them. So you can kind of think like 23. If I take away 5 from that, that gives me 18. So can I use the numbers 2, 4, and 8 to make 18? I don't think so. And then if I added 5, that's, 28. Can I use the numbers 2, 4, and 8 to make 28? I can't. So that strategy won't work. I'm pretty sure it's impossible to come up with 23 with the rules outlined above. So this would be 1 out of the 10 times, the 10% that doesn't work out. You could show your students something like this. If you really want to make them excited about math, you could show them that a factorial would work. 4 factorial is 24. You have to take away 1, so you'd subtract 5 minus 8 divided by 2. So 5 minus 4 is 1. 4 factorial is 24. And you can be like, well, that's not basic math. And you'll be like, you're right, it's not. But if you could show them that the exclamation point in math is a factorial, which means you're just multiplying that number and every whole number before that, which would give you 24 here, which isn't the cleanest solution, but we got almost there. And what's sometimes interesting too with kids is they'll come back the next day. I was really working on this, and if I was allowed to use the exponent 5 squared, like I come up with it that way. So it gets them thinking about math and numbers. And there's some guaranteed solutions that will work. Like if you wanted to start out, I do know I've done these before. Maybe I'll post another video if you use like just the 2, 4, 6, 8. That should work out for you. But I'll leave it with that. 30 scratch.